Hey guys, I have a 2003 Monte Carlo, and I was having an issue. I just recently bought it. I was having an issue where the key fob would not program to the unit itself. This is not the original key fob. I had two others that came with it. The guy said they didn't work. Replaced the batteries in the fob units. Did the programming process on the radio to program it, and it was just not taking. And then so I bought a new key fob, and it did the same thing. Looked it up, and there is a key fob or a keyless entry receiver module that you will need to replace in order for this to work. So I got a couple of them from a junkyard, and this is the part number 150-42969. So I have a couple of them, and they're all the same part number. And so I grabbed a couple of them from some Chevy Impalas at my local junkyard, as well as a Chevy S10. They do have some on Chevy Blazers, certain models and certain years. Best that you can do is look up this part number, and I think it was a GMAutopartsdirect.com or something like that, and it showed me all the fitment of this part, and that's how I was able to determine which part number it was and which cars to get it from. So as soon as I replaced this module, it did work. And it was a direct fit. So whenever you remove it, you will break these clips off. It just happened. The position that it's at, it's underneath the dash, so heat makes the plastic brittle. And me being very gentle with it, just barely touching it, broke the clips off. But it's okay. It doesn't rattle around or anything. It just kind of sits in there. But particularly on this Monte Carlo, I'm going to show you how to remove it. I already did it, so I'm just going to show you what parts you need to take off, etc. So this pillar right here will need to come off. It does have a clip right here. It's a metal clip, and the metal clip, whenever I removed it, it actually goes straight inwards. So, but the metal clip is attached to like a square base that sits inside this. So, if you pull it, I did hear something snap. So I think I broke a little bit of it, but it went in just fine. It doesn't move or anything. So you remove this whole pillar right here, all the way down, and as soon as you get this off, it will expose. You'll be able to put your hand in here to get this front trim piece off. So this front trim piece, you just lift it all the way about to right there. It's just a bunch of plastic clips, so you don't need to remove this pillar and remove the whole thing. You'll get enough clearance, and it sits right next to that ambient light sensor right there. It sits right next to that sensor. So as soon as you open it up, you'll be able to see that module. It's not screwed in or anything. You just lift it up, unplug it via this connector right here, and then as soon as you plug it in, I didn't disconnect the battery or anything. As soon as I disconnected it and connected the new one, it worked. So the reason why I got a couple of them is because, one, obviously I got it from the junkyard. It was a trial and error. I didn't know if this was going to fix it or not, so I grabbed the one from the junkyard, and I just chose whichever one looked the best, or whichever one looked newer, kind of. This one seems to be a little bit discolored. This one's more gray. So I got something kind of similar to this, and the first one I put in worked. So got it from the junkyard for about $4, and this fixed my problem. I was able to program my current key fob as well as the other two key fobs, and it works just fine. So works great. Hopefully this helps you guys out.